We are now going to take a look at the rest of the assignment, and on this particular one, they're asking us to list the values with 10 integers per line. I am not going to do that. You guys will be able to handle that. And then as we study and look at the rest of this, we're supposed to create a button labeled original array. I'm not going to worry about that right now, but just know when that button was clicked, it should display the array, I believe. Now, we are going to generate an additional 30 integers between 0 and 255 and insert them into the array in the order that they should appear so that they remain in ascending order. So if I kind of make myself some notes up here, I need 30 more integers between the 0 and 255. And then we are going to insert them in order. Okay. The problem though was that if the original array is less than 80, we're going to have to resize our array. And so we have to maybe possibly resize the array if original is less than 30. Excuse me, less than 80. So that's something that we're going to have to consider. If an exception is thrown, you must double the size of the array. Once all 80 integers have been correctly placed into the new array, they will be printed in a second JText integer with 10 integers per line. So all of this stuff right here would be kind of basically number 4. And then if I did like step number 5 would be to print them out again. And that's after they are all created. And so that's again 10 integers per line, and that's going to be the new array. So I'm just kind of making myself a to-do list and making sure that I have everything, all the components covered. It says paste your original output into a Word document and turn it in with your code. This Word document will be similar to the one attached to the assignment. So that's just basically showing me that you've done your output. So that's just turning in your assignment. So basically it's turn it in with code snippets in a Word document. It does say here my class should contain instance variables for the buttons, the text areas, one array of integers, and a randomly generated length, and that we will want to add additional methods, how many, etc. We will have to decide. So I believe I've got those instance fields already, but here are actually suggestions for writing the methods. So for example, let's just go ahead and take the code that we have and create our fill array method. And so arrays are passed by reference, so it's not going to return anything. And I'm going to call it fill array. And it fills the array with the first random numbers. So we are going to call that method fill array parens list and send it the list. It is then going to work locally with the list to create the first 50 values. So we should just be able to put it into a method. It needs to be a static method since we are not working with a separate class and we're working here within main. It does not know what element is, so bring that into the local array method here. And it does not know what offset is. So again, bring that into our local array here. And we are getting close. We do need to tell it that we are bringing in an integer array and it is named list. You can name it the same as the original. Just when it comes in, it is going to be passed by reference. And so know that the computer is actually creating a second, well, it's passed by reference. So it's not creating a copy of it. Okay, sorry. So ideally, this would actually fill the array. What we want to do, though, is to test if that array actually was filled. So back in main, let's keep this loop that's up there. We're going to fill the list, and we're going to see that it prints out in main. So basically, we kept it the same, everything the same, but we're going to see if it actually fills it. And I need to get rid of this variable here before we can actually execute it and see if we can get the same output that we did before, where we have all of our values, and then our last value we know is supposed to be in between, if we look down here, 245 and 249 inclusively. So it looks like we successfully wrote that method in order to fill the array. So some of the other methods that they recommend is to write an insert method that inserts the original, and then a resize method that doubles the size of the array as needed. So we will be taking a look at those in our next video.